There are so many of these iconic must-play games that I've somehow never touched. I never played a single Resident Evil game, I've never played Silent Hill, I've never played Ghost of Tsushima, I've never even played a single Assassin's Creed game. I think you get the point, there are a lot of games I've just never given a chance. And today I want to change that. So if you've got any games I absolutely need to play and you wanna see me getting the platinum on those, let me know down in the comment. And to start fixing that, I decided to begin with a game that a lot of my friends had been telling me to play for years. A game that I hadn't even seen a single minute of gameplay from. And that game is... Little Nightmares was developed by Bandai Namco back in 2017, so almost 10 years ago now. And when I saw who made this game, I already had a feeling it was gonna be a banger. But for the platinum, I hate to say it guys, but this game doesn't actually have one. There are only 22 trophies in total, including the DLC, which I'll be completing as well. But unfortunately, no platinum trophy this time. So if you don't mind, we're just gonna use our little imagination and pretend there's one. And I'm already yapping for a long time, so let's get started. The game starts with this creepy cutscene showing some mysterious Japanese lady or something, and then it immediately cuts to our character 6. Why is she called 6? I have absolutely no idea, but that's her name. The only thing we have with us is a lighter, which will help us see in all the dark areas. And we'll also need it to light these lanterns scattered throughout the game, which of course it's needed for a trophy later on. I kept just going forward until I reached this pad and I started jumping on it. Yep, highly sprung. You'd jump even higher if you knew what slept there. What do you mean by that? When I went through the vent on top, I went to this room with, you know what it is.
Did we just find a person in the suicide forest?
And I just kept going, slowly starting to understand how the game really worked. Along the way I found the gnome, which is another collectible I needed to keep an eye out for. Oh, and just so you know, there's also this statue to collect. I actually found one earlier and completely forgot to mention it. So yeah, we've got lanterns, gnomes and statues. I hope you got it. Then I climbed on top of a fridge and that's where I managed to die for the very first time.
What is this? What the fuck? What the fuck? Did I just die?
You stupid.
Eventually I fell into this pool full of those creatures and not knowing how to open the door I just died again. Turns out you just walk into it and knock it down. After a little bit of parkour I reached this section where you have to pull a handle and run to the door before it closes. The problem is I had no idea you could run because the game never told me. And also sprint is on the square button. How the fuck was I supposed to discover that?
Oh, I can sprint. Bruh. Oh, I only discovered now I could sprint and I just died like a fucking dumbass.
Moving on, I saw this weird guy for the first time just passing by and I'll be seeing him again later. Then I reached this room with electrified doors. I had to move a box full of toilet paper and use it to flip a switch and then sprint for my life before everything reset. And in the next room there's this giant glowing eye watching the entire area. You basically have to sneak through the shadows to get past it. And if it spots you like it did to me right here, you die. Then I climbed up these cages and reached the top floor where I entered the bedroom. And there he was again, that weird giant guy I saw earlier. I just hid under the bed until he left the room, then kept moving on. After that, Six started getting really hungry, like actually starving. Luckily there was this kid on the other side eating food who noticed and threw it to me. So I decided to jump to say thanks to him. In this next session I got completely lost. And I'm not even joking, I spent like at least 10 minutes here trying absolutely everything because I had no idea where to go. Turns out you just have to climb this chain right here in the middle. After a little puzzle with these drawers, I turned off the electricity once again to open this door and reach this room. And since the game loves not telling me what to do, I thought I had to grab this rope and climb down. You actually have to push this thing first so the rope comes up and only then you can go down. After that there was another ice section, but this time I had to hide behind the moving cart. Of course I couldn't keep up with the cart and I died. But eventually I made it through and that was the end of the prison, aka chapter 1. After getting there, I climbed these huge stairs leading to this weird room where I had to climb these drawers to grab a key and keep moving. And in the next room I found the famous monkey from COD Zombies. And now I can throw it to call the elevator to me. And it led me to what looked like some kind of sewers, and that's when 6 started starving again. Luckily this time there were some rats eating what looked like a piece of meat. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure I want to know what it actually was, but either way I ate it. And just as I was enjoying my questionable meal, a mysterious hand grabbed me, locked me up and dragged me somewhere else. A place with even more kids trapped inside. 6 manages to break out of the cage, and in the next section we finally come face to face with this big blind guy. And I had to get to the other side while he was busy doing his thing. But even though he's blind, this guy has the hearing of a god, so you have to be really careful and stay quiet. Unfortunately, I wasn't very good at that. So eventually I just decided to switch up my strategy and make a run for it. And somehow that actually worked. He even came right at me at the end, but I managed to juke him by hiding behind this pillar right in front of him. What a fucking idiot. Then we fall into this pit that slows us down while something tries to grab us. But honestly that part wasn't too bad, just have to be quick. And right after that, the blind guy comes out of nowhere and starts chasing me. And since I had no idea where to go, I climbed on top of this door and just stood there praying for my life. I genuinely thought this was going to work until the door opened, I fell, and of course he heard me. But somehow the game had saved literally a second before that happened, so I respawned on the next section and didn't have to do it all over again. So yeah, that's nice. And then we run to him again almost immediately. This time we're underneath the floor and have to distract him so we can sneak past. I was struggling here too because I kept walking on the wooden floor and had no idea that you're supposed to walk on the carpet so he can't hear you. And once I figured that out though, it was pretty easy. And if you still haven't figured it by now, this guy is basically stalking us. Because not long after that I'm just minding my own business and he comes crashing through the ceiling again. But every now and then all the clocks start going crazy and he freezes for a moment. And that's your chance to make a run for it. And this next room full of books actually had a trophy waiting for me. If you climb up to this hanging piano and just starting walking across the keys, you unlock a trophy for playing it. Also a very random one, but you know we'll gladly take those. And guess who's on top waiting for us? So yeah, another sneaky section. Just sneak past him, enter this room, grab this lever, turn on the TV to distract him and run. And up next was the first time, and I think the only time I actually got low-key jump scared playing this game. Oh shit. Holy shit. That's low-key scared me. What the fuck? And then things get worse because the stalker starts chasing us again. This time we barely squeeze to a gap and he gets stuck with just his arms reaching through, trying to find us. It actually took me a bit to figure out what to do here, but once I got it, it was simple. You just stay on this big crate, wait for him to reach out, then jump to the cage in the middle and break one of the metal parts. Do that twice and you rip his arms off, finally defeating him. And that's the end of the chapter 2, the lair. And right at the start of chapter 3, guess what? Yep, 6 got hungry again. But every time it somehow gets worse. This time she finds a trapped rat and just eats it. I mean, I guess food is food. And in this chapter we're introduced to a new character, this giant fat chef. Almost the same as the blind guy, except this one can actually see you. And in our very first encounter I'm supposed to just keep moving, but for a trophy I had to make a recipe by finding 3 ingredients scattered around the kitchen and throwing them into this pan. All while hiding from the chef and trying to not get caught. Thankfully he's not exactly the smartest, so hiding wasn't too difficult.
Is this the cheese? Yeah, this is cheese. Hold on. Yes, kitchen hand. Wait, the recipe is complete. The feast will be divine. Nice.
After sneaking through these really tight spaces, I reached a bedroom where another giant chef was sleeping. I snuck in, grabbed the key, took the elevator down and used it to open a door in that same room where I was just at. And that led me to this weird area with a tiny elevator, which took me to a freezer full of meat. Here I had to collect 3 pieces of meat, throw them down to the floor below and turn them into sausages so I could reach to the other side. Kind of weird, but I guess that works. Then we reach another freezer, but this time one of the chefs comes down in an elevator and then we have to hide. Once he's distracted, we make a run for the elevator ourselves, and on the next floor I hide inside this tube. And funnily enough, this next section had the last lantern I needed for the trophy. I just didn't know it yet because I thought there were still more left.
Okay, there's a candle here. Yep. Oh, light up for your life. Not all lights can be trusted, but this should be quite safe. Nice. Is this the last one? I thought I was missing 1 or 2 still. I guess. Nice, 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 nice.
So now I had to sneak past this guy, and at first I kept walking right in front of him, still thinking he was the blind guy. Somehow though, I still managed to get through, hit this button to distract him and grab another key to get out. The next section has 2 chests at once, and you're supposed to sneak past both of them. Or you can do what I did and just run for it, because these guys are incredibly dumb and instantly forget you exist if you go under something. After that I activated this machine, grabbed onto a moving hook, ran from them a bit more and jumped back onto it again. And whatever you do, don't be like me and die twice in a row on the very last jump. Either way, after that we finally finished chapter 3, the kitchen. These last 2 chapters were a bit shorter than the others, but this part of the game easily had my favorite environments and scenery. This chapter is all about this giant, fat and hungry guest that just never stopped eating. I guess all the food the chefs were making earlier was for them. It starts with us climbing these huge pipes while you can see all the guests arriving for dinner in the background, and naturally we're heading in the same direction. Eventually I reached this room where some of them were already eating, and of course one of them immediately started chasing after me. So I did the only logical thing, which is to run away and climb on top of these plates. I even had to run across the tables they were eating at, and honestly moments like this are exactly why I love this chapter so much visually. I mean, just look at it, it looks amazing. And there was a trophy that according to the guide I should have unlocked right here. The problem was I hadn't had enough close calls. And by close calls I mean moments like this, when an enemy is chasing you and almost grabs you but you barely manage to escape. You need to do that 6 times for the trophy, and at this point I only had 2. In this part I got 2 more, and then the trophy finally popped right after during this chase where every single enemy in the game seemed to come after me at once. I have no idea how that counted as a close call, but I'll gladly take it. And yeah, we're basically at the end of the chapter already. It really was a lot shorter than the others. After this really intense chase I barely make it through, but guess what? 6 got hungry again. Luckily this really cute little gnome offers me a sausage so I can eat it. But let's just say 6 had a different idea. And remember this moment because it will be important later and you will see why. I don't know which one is worse, the rat or the gnome. Either way, after finally eating, I reach this room with an elevator that has an eye on it. I go to take the elevator and that's the end of chapter 4, the guest area. And believe it or not, this chapter is even smaller than the previous one. The elevator takes you up to this pink creepy looking house and you can hear someone singing, almost like the Huntress from DBD. And it turns out it's the same mysterious Japanese lady we saw at the very start of the game. And right at the beginning of this section, I also finally unlocked the trophy for collecting and throwing all the statues in the game. I didn't show me getting any because there's a lot in each chapter and there's really no point of me showing it. But yeah, that one is done. And right at this same part I ran into a glitch where the key I needed just simply disappeared. No matter what I did, even restarting from the last checkpoint, it wouldn't show up again. So I had to restart the whole chapter, but luckily it was right at the beginning, so no big deal. Once I finally got the key again and unlocked the door, I entered this really dark room and the lady starts following me. I barely make it through until I find this mirror just sitting there waiting for me. And that's how I finally managed to fight the Japanese lady. It's basically a small boss fight. You stay in these random lights that appear and whenever she comes you use the mirror to attack her. Do that a couple of times and she's finally defeated, no big deal. To end the story, of course it had to happen. 6 gets hungry again. And the only thing left in the room at that point was the woman I just defeated. So yeah, I think you can probably guess what happens next.
I'm gonna hit her. No. I'm gonna eat her. I'm sorry, I have to do this. Damn. Damn. What the hell is happening? Holy shit. Now I can just pass through them? Do I have like the powers of the witch or something now? I'm that bitch now. Everything that tried to kill me, I'm killing back. Damn. The ladies' quarters. A storm is coming. That goat should come in useful.
And that's the end of Six's story. And long story short, she ends up becoming just like the monster she was trying to escape from the entire time. And with that done, I only missed one trophy, and that was for collecting all the gnomes. I had missed only one, so I went back to the chapter and grabbed it real quick. And now that all the main story trophies were done, I still had one less trophy to fully 100% Little Nightmares, not counting the DLC of course. And this one is easily the hardest trophy in the entire game. On paper it sounds simple, complete the entire story in under an hour and without dying even once. If you die or take too long, you have to restart the game all the way back from the beginning. And the reason I didn't mention this trophy earlier is because I kind of cheesed it. Yeah, I know, I'm sorry, but hey, I wasn't about to suffer through this after doing Sackboy right before. So I used the PS Plus cloud save method. If you don't know, PlayStation Plus lets you upload your save to the cloud at any time and download it again later. So that's exactly what I did. After every chapter or before any difficult section, I'd back up my save. So in case I died or was too slow, I just reloaded and try again. So with that being said, I actually completed this trophy pretty easily. It was still a bit stressful because I kept thinking I was going too slow, but in the end I had more than enough time. I'm just gonna show the parts where I died and the hardest sections in my opinion. At the very start I died twice in some really random spots.
Fuck. I forgot what to do.
No, bro. Then I completed the rest of chapter 1 without dying. So I don't think this first one was too hard, but the second one, that's a completely different story. I was doing really well until I reached the part with the clocks. I made a tiny bit of noise just before they started going off.
No! Fuck! Ah, fuck! Fuck!
And that actually happened twice.
No! No! What the fuck? What am I doing wrong?
And this trophy is really hard to do legit because there are a lot of stupid ways you can die that aren't even from the main chases. Just like this one. I was on that same piano where I got the trophy earlier, and right as I went for the jump, my character just got stuck in this corner. And since you can't move sideways or climb out, my only option was to just accept the death. Maybe now you understand why I didn't want to do this trophy legit. I died one more time on the piano just trying to jump to the other side. Eventually I reached the first really tough part, the fight against the blind guy where you're trapped in this room. It's actually pretty simple as I showed in the normal playthrough, but somehow I still died here 3 times. I kept grabbing the metal from the wrong side so Six just wouldn't break it. But after those failures I finally got through the chapter. I got through the first chases in the kitchen without any problems, so that was basically the whole chapter done already. But right at the very end, after pulling the lever and running from the 2 chefs, I somehow managed to do this.
What? Ah, I jumped to the wrong side. Ah, fuck off.
But after that single death I managed to get through and also finish that chapter. And these last 2 were definitely the easiest ones. In the chapter with the fat guests I only died once, and it was in a very stupid way as well.
Fuck. The fucking shelf killed me. Nah.
And guess what? I didn't die a single time after that all the way to the finish. So the only thing I'll say is, if I really wanted to, I think I probably could have done this one legit. After finishing it, I honestly don't think it's that hard, but I'm also not interested in finding out if I'm wrong.
Okay, please. Let me get the trophy. I think if I did everything right, I should get it. I'm pretty sure I'm under an hour. Goodbye world. Fuck everyone. I own this shit and I own the trophy as well. Hard to the core. What's different about you? Why are you so brave? Come on, we did it. Now we only have to do the DLCs, which are the kid story, I believe. And that was Little Nightmares. And so far this game has been amazing.
And so with that being said, I was sitting at 13 out of the 22 trophies. The DLC has you playing as a completely different character, this unnamed kid. And while his story is different, it shares some location with 6's and even overlaps with it a little bit. This story only has 3 chapters with 3 trophies in each one. The DLC starts with us swimming in complete darkness until this underwater monster drags us down. I wake up in the exact same room where I hid from the big blind guy as 6. And from there I basically retrace 6's step but in reverse. So I go through the eye section but from the other side, climb down this rope and eventually end up in the water where I find a flashlight. And now that I had a flashlight, seeing in the dark wasn't nearly as much of a problem. I also felt like this DLC was a lot harder than the main game when it came to the puzzles. I got stuck quite a few times just trying to figure out what the game actually wanted me to do. And a big part of this chapter takes place underground, where we're constantly running away from this water monster. And this DLC also introduces a new collectible, these bottles. There are 5 of them hidden in each chapter. After struggling for a while in this section where I had to pull this thing up, I eventually reached this room that had a quick and easy trophy waiting for me. All I had to do was grab this ball thingy and throw it in this bucket. And there you go, a quick and nice trophy. Eventually we get our first proper look at the underground monster. And just look at him, what a handsome guy.
Hey, yo, what the?
Here I had to make it to the other side while trying not to become his lunch, and I'm not gonna lie, this section was a bit annoying. He caught me way more times than I'd like to admit. Eventually I reached this puzzle where I had to throw this thing down onto the box and push it across to the other side. But of course the game decides to glitch one more time. I threw it down from above, but when I went to see where it was, it had completely disappeared. Gotta love this game sometimes, right? But now we have another section full of water to cross, but the monster is still chasing us the whole way. Luckily right at the end there's a TV turned on, so I throw it into the water and electrocute the monster, finally getting rid of him for good. With that out of the way, I reach a room containing the last bottle of the chapter, and that of course gives me a trophy. Right next to it there's this giant ladder, so naturally I climb up, but it was a trap. Something grabs us and drags us away. And this is where the two stories start intertwining a little bit, because we're actually in the cage right next to 6 before being taken away ourselves, which also gives us the trophy for finishing this chapter. And in case you don't remember, or if I didn't show it before, when you're playing as 6 you can actually see this kid getting taken away as well. I really like this detail that connects both stories together, it's amazing. So we get taken away and wake up wrapped up and hanging from this giant hook. But somehow we manage to break free and fall down. When we land, a few gnomes come to check on us before immediately running away. Naturally, I start chasing them. Once you get close enough, you can hug them and they start helping you out. At first I only had one gnome helping me reach places I couldn't get on my own. Then I found a second one and together we rescued a third. And just like that, I had assembled my own unpaid workforce. And their first job was shoveling coal into this machine. Why? You will see later. After heading upstairs, we run into the blind guy again doing whatever he does all day. And this room also had the setup for another trophy. You see this wooden gnome on the table? I needed to carry him all the way to a later section without losing him. I left him here and continued through this giant mining area, rescuing more gnomes along the way. Once I had 3 more with me, they were strong enough to help push this minecart full of coal up to the next area. Of course I couldn't forget about my wooden friend, so I went back for him. A bit later I reached this room with a trapdoor and I put all the gnomes there and pushed them down, which meant I now had an even bigger army of slaves. And for the trophy with the wooden gnome, I simply need to throw him into the furnace, and that's the trophy done. This chapter was easily the longest and most confusing one in the entire game. I had already been playing for quite a while at this point and I still had a lot left to do. So I headed to the right, hugged 2 more gnomes that were just hanging around and kept going. In the next area I picked up this light that helped me get through this really dark section where I had to move slowly and quietly so the big guy wouldn't hear me. There was also this room where I was genuinely stuck for a while and the solution was simply opening these giant lockers. A bit later I found myself sneaking through another dark room with the big guy nearby, same idea as before, stay quiet and keep moving. And the light I was carrying ended up being useful here too, since I could place it in this machine to activate an elevator. And at the top there were 3 more gnomes waiting for me, so I had to rescue them while solving a few more puzzles around the room. And hidden in this area was also the final bottle I needed for the chapter trophy. Once I had my 3 little boys with me, they helped me open this door. The problem was I walked through without them and immediately got confused. So I restarted from the last checkpoint and I had to rescue the last gnome again and lost a bit more time. Turns out you just have to push this box under the door so it stays open and the gnomes then can follow you. And now with my growing army shoveling coal into the furnace, the whole machine finally powered up and took us to the next area. There were even more gnomes up top and they were all helping me. And in the following room they were all just chilling around the furnace. I squeezed through this tiny hole and ended up on top of an elevator. And guess who was riding it? The Japanese lady. And just like that, chapter 2 was over. And this last chapter probably had even more puzzles than the previous one. This time you're exploring the lady's house. I think it's the same one 6 goes through, but now a lot more of it's unlocked, so there are way more rooms to explore. The main goal is to solve various puzzles around the house and collect these statues. Then place the correct ones in this room to unlock a secret door later on. So I'm not gonna go into too much detail here because the whole chapter is basically me getting lost and trying to figure out what to do. But I did pick up this chapter's trophy right here. You have to carry this book from the library all the way back to where you spawned, and placing it here opens a secret room. Then if you knock over this jar right in the middle, you unlock the trophy Ashes to Ashes. After a while I reached this area where these shadow monsters tried to kill me. And they succeeded. A couple of times actually. And my goal here was to reach this room and grab the last statue I needed to open the secret door. Once I placed all 3 statues, the door finally opened, leading me into this room full of mirrors. And for the first time we see the lady without her makeup. And just look at this, what a beautiful girl. And while she was chasing me through this dark room, I also took a quick second to grab the last bottle I needed for the chapter trophy. And just when I thought I was about to fight her, something completely unexpected happened.
Holy shit. Fuck. That kind of scared me. Oh no. She got me. Why do you have that fucking mask on? You ugly as shit, bitch. Hey, leave me. You ugly as shit. What? I'm playing as a gnome? What the fuck? Hello, fat guys. What's in here? Oh, this is where I give the sausage to 6. Oh no. So the game ends. Oh my god. The game ends with me giving the sausage to 6, no? No, but I am the one who gave the sausage to 6. We'll meet again. The final chapter is written. Little Nightmares 100% done. Oh my god, this was way better than what I thought. Now I think I understand why this game is so hyped and why it had the success it has, you know, why it's so big. I will probably go look out like a little bit in the lore, you know, because I don't think the game explains that well the story, like you just get thrown and this is what's happening, you know, but there's probably like a lore or something, I don't know. Honestly, I didn't understood the story that well. Don't miss out because I'm probably gonna do the second one, if not right away, soon.
So yeah guys, that's gonna be it for another video. And like I said, if you enjoyed Little Nightmares, stay tuned because I'll be playing the second one very soon. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe and all of that good stuff. It really helps out the channel and motivates me to keep making these videos. And if you're into trophy hunting, make sure to also check out these videos appearing on the screen right now. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye bye!